Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. I want to show you guys a quick clip of George Carlin and what he's talking about. I think it's important. The individual thought process is a powerful tool. Let's go ahead and get into it, and I'll explain to you why it's important at the end. Check this out.
So would you say that you hate people? I mean, is that a fair thing to say?
No. Individually, I love them. Every person I meet, I sort of like, and I'm not trying to be corny here, but I see the universe in them. You can see a part of everything in everyone, and they're just wonderful to look in their eyes. But when they start to group, when they get into clots, when there's, for instance, groups even as small as 2. Here's a good example.
So the two of us,
That's
yeah.
right. Not as good as each of you separate.
Right, all right.
What happens is they begin to surrender the beauty of the individual for the sake of the group. Even like a guy, like, you know how if there's a bunch of guys hang around together in high school or college and then one of them gets married, he changes. He's in a group, and the wife will say, well, you know, he's just wonderful with the kids at home, but when he's with those morons at the bar, he's different. And the guys will say, hey, he was such a good guy, but when he's with Linda, man, the guy's, you know, just a drag. People change. And then the bigger the group, as the group gets bigger, 6, 8, 12, 15, 115,000, they begin to have hats, armbands, little slogans, lists of people they don't like, and it gets out of hand. So I'm in favor of people one by one, but in large groups, I would like to see them disappear.
All right, guys. So first and foremost, it's extremely important to learn how to think for yourself.
They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that.
Do not be a sheep. Do not just follow along with whatever group or organization that you find yourself in. Look, I'll say this. I've linked up with people before. I've gone to certain protests, certain meetings, some of the things I agree with, some of the things I don't. That's why it's important to understand your individual power.
They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table and figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago.
First and foremost, we have what's called natural rights. Some people like to look at it as God-given rights, human rights. I learned this from someone who's a friend of mine. His name is Jason Bassler. He runs the Free Thought Project. I actually want you guys to go subscribe to this website, the Free Thought Project. What an honor it was to get invited on the Free Thought Project. I was able to speak my mind over there a little bit. They like to interview free thinkers. The individual thought process is a powerful tool, folks. Don't let people make decisions for you.
You know what they want? They want obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later because they own this fucking place.
And there is something that I do want to address. I understand that a lot of times these groups, organizations, I call them cockamamie associations. I don't really like to sign on to anything. We can work together, but as individuals. There's an empowerment there. But I understand all roads to hell were paved with good intentions. But a lot of times when these organizations and these groups get bigger, they become corrupted. How many times in history have we found that to be true? There's a thing called the Cobra effect. If you don't know what that means, look it up. Sometimes we do things with good intentions. We fuck around and find out that our good intentions backfired on us and just made things worse. Type in the Cobra effect and you'll know what I'm talking about.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. By the way, it's the same big club they used to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care.
Go to thefreethoughtproject.com. Subscribe if you can. You guys are absolutely going to learn a lot from these two gentlemen. Guaranteed, without a doubt. As a matter of fact, if you guys go over there and subscribe and you find a way to leave a comment, let them know I sent you.
That's what the owners count on. The fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant of the big red, white, and blue dick that's being jammed up their assholes every day.
At this point, we're not practicing our rights. We're fucking flexing them. It's time that we let government know that they're the ones that fucked around and found out.
Because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it.
All right, folks, that's all I want to say. You guys go check out the Free Thought Project. That's specifically why I made this video right here. I want to give my friends a shout out. They deserve it. They do tremendous work. I've learned a lot from them. Jason Bassler and Matt Agarist, these two guys right here are cream of the crop of government accountability, hands down. All right, folks, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.